Democrats don't want you to know how much fossil fuels it takes to power electric cars. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Also, subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And hit that alarm bell so you know when I put out new stuff. And check out my link tree that's in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. And also has a link to my merch store. We'll have Let's Go Brandon t-shirts, I Will Not Comply t-shirts, all types of t-shirts. All right, let's talk about this news. Amid inflationary U.S. federal spending restrictions on domestic oil production and the current Russia-Ukraine conflict, millions of Americans are suffering the consequences of the Biden administration's dysfunction at the pump. Instead of investing in American energy, Democrats are actively suppressing the American energy industry and then telling Americans to spend their savings on overpriced electric cars to solve their problems. But the left isn't being honest about the environmental and financial costs of those trendy electric vehicles. Last Thursday, Republican Rep. Thomas Massie of Kentucky took to Twitter to remind Americans that these cars are not as environmentally friendly as Democrats insist they are. To advance their climate agenda and deflect backlash about rising gas prices, Democrats are telling Americans that driving electric cars is for the greater good of the environment, fully knowing the charging stations for these cars are not fossil fuel free. In reality, one of Tesla's supercharger stations was reported to get 13% of their energy from natural gas and 27% from coal. Power plants burn coal to generate electricity to power electric cars and emit a higher fossil fuel footprint than the left would care to admit. While these vehicles may be falsely advertised, many who invest in these overpriced cars are able to avoid paying the currently outrageous gas prices. Still, Americans are growing reliance on electric cars and batteries they require will increase our dependence on countries such as China for materials. Quote, Chinese companies, particular CATL, have secured vast supplies of raw materials that go inside the batteries, the New York Times reported in December. Quote, the dominance has stirred fears in Washington that Detroit could someday be rendered obsolete and that Beijing could control American driving in the 21st century the way that oil-producing nations sometimes could in the 20th. By increasing our use of electric cars, the United States will require more lithium batteries and will further rely on China to sustain our supply. I mean, it's common sense. While the current energy crisis could be an opportunity for Americans to increase our energy independence, the current administration refuses to take advantage. As the Federalist's Tristan Justice reported in August, Biden's electric vehicle plan is a big win for Beijing. Despite our capacity to become independent and profit from American-made energy, Biden has no plans to trump China's mass energy production, even as China continues to flaunt the rigid green standards that hold our own producers back. As long as the United States continues to outsource production and jobs to China, it will be hardworking Americans who suffer the economic consequences of our energy dependence. But the only thing we can do is try to get these people out of our government and try to push for American energy independence. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out democrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.